This notepad right here is the exact 8-step process I went through from being an unemployed bartender to now owning and operating a $500,000 e-commerce business. So in this video, we're going to break down the 8 steps to starting a successful business from scratch. In fact, the same template that I used to start my business with literally $0. Welcome anyone who's new. My name is AJ. I am the owner and operator of Cocktail Cards, my very own $500,000 e-commerce business that I started from scratch just a couple years ago. And today we're going to talk about hopefully potentially helping you start your very own business, starting with the very first stage that we all kind of have to go through, and that's developing a strategy. So when you're developing a strategy, there's a few different ways you can go here, but for me personally, I think it's really important for you to find something you're either passionate about, something you have knowledge in, or something you're willing to learn, right? If you enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be a lot more easier for you to put in the grind, to retain information, to actually get good at something. So that's a really important first step. Now, once we kind of figure out something we're passionate about, something we love, it's time to do a little bit of market research, okay? Now, if I wanted to start a business and make a lot of money playing Minecraft, that would probably be really hard. That is a very saturated business to get into. Now, maybe you could specialize, you could be a Minecraft coach, or you could build custom PCs to play your Minecraft on. But overall, that's gonna be a very saturated market. So you need to find something you're passionate about where there's not as much saturation. And more importantly, you need to find a marketplace where you can actually solve a problem. Now, you can solve a problem through a lot of things. It could be a physical product like mine, it could be a digital product, coaching, your actual skills as maybe a CPA or a video editor, right? There's so many different things you can do to launch a business around your passion, but you need to make sure you're solving a problem. For instance, my product, Cocktail Cards, happened during the pandemic when all the bars and restaurants were shut down and people were drinking at home. I realized there was no real beginner guide to making cocktails at home, right? You had recipes and you had books, but none of them really taught people how to use the equipment, step by step how to make drinks. And there definitely were no videos available to show people this. So I put all that into one package and create this ultimate beginner guide to making bartender quality cocktails at home. I was solving a problem within a marketplace, and that's really what you have to do is figure out what problem can you solve. So once you have your strategy developed, it's time to move on to phase number 2. And I like to call this building in public. Now, if you're an OG fan of mine and you've been watching me all the way from TikTok, I literally built this business from scratch over on TikTok and documented everything. Everything from coming up with the idea, testing different logos. I was literally writing down these cards with Sharpies on blank cards and testing out different formats to see what people wanted to do. Now, it was so early on, and a lot of people ask me, how do you come up with content if you don't have a product? It seems like you can't really put anything of value out there, but I argue the exact opposite. I think someone watching someone develop something from scratch is far more interesting than just seeing a video about your product. And you're going to do a couple things by building in public. One, you're going to develop a great foundation for your business. For instance, as you're developing whatever service you're doing or product that you're making, you're going to get feedback from day one. And this is going to help you actually have a better end product, right? That was one thing I was really shocked about with Cocktail Cards was it turned out way different than I imagined that they would be. And that's because of all the feedback along the process along the way. And this could be anything from your services, your coaching. You may have no idea what it is you're going to coach, but if you're getting feedback all the way from the beginning, it's actually going to kind of morph itself into something that's going to be most helpful for the audience because you're putting content out there to give you feedback. And more importantly, you're going to actually develop people that know, like, and trust you. This is really important because when you do come to the marketplace, they're going to support you. They're going to share it with their friends and their family. And thirdly, they're going to be more than happy to give you reviews and give you social proof, right? And that's really important when you come to the marketplace because no one knows who you are. No one knows your product. They don't know whether to trust you or if it's a good product, and reviews are extremely important. That's why products on Amazon with a lot of reviews just get way more sales because it has social proof. So definitely build in public, create a good foundation, and that is just one of the most crucial things you can do. So you're building in public, and it's time to start working on stage number 3, and that is developing high-level skills. So when it comes to high level, you can really be developing one of two things. You could be developing developing skills, or you could also just be developing knowledge in a particular field, right? So skills, video editing, building PCs, these are like physical skills, but you can also learn knowledge. For instance, a lot of the things, no, I just went all Ty Lopez on there, knowledge. For instance, one of the high level skills that I had to learn to run and operate a business was working with manufacturers. I also had to learn product design. I had to learn logistics. I had to learn all these things that now that I have a successful business, I also can provide coaching. Like a lot of people reach out to me for consulting for running and operating their business. They're not hiring me for a skill or service. They're hiring me because my knowledge will save them time and make sure they're doing it the right way. You can develop skills or knowledge. Now, another important thing in this step is, if possible, try and find a mentor, someone who has been through what it is you want to accomplish. This is going to help steer you in the right direction. They're going to prevent you from doing all the things that were mistakes when they did it, save you time, save you the headache, save you money. That's a big step. And with the help of a mentor, it's just going to be a lot less stress off your shoulders as you're going through this really like scary thing, which is launching a business. And lastly, with this stage, it's also really important to look into industry trends. So I was one of the first adapters sharing businesses on TikTok. I know it seems weird, but TikTok is still really new. And I was kind of nervous to go on TikTok, but I was jumping on industry trends for marketing, certain things. Now, imagine if you were a video editor and you're doing all the industry trends with the AI stuff right now, right? So you utilize AI to get better sound. You can edit your videos faster. You can have cooler effects, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're going to be in the forefront of video editors that are up to date with technology, with what a lot of people want incorporated into their videos and their editing. So now you're kind of like desirable because you've been up to date and you've been training and learning new industry trends. And this really happens with really all niches and all businesses. So definitely take a look at trends and learn as much of it as you can. So you've been building in public, you're creating these skills. Let's go ahead and move on to stage number 4, and that is providing free value. Now, the whole point of free value is to build credibility and trust, right? Now, you're going to do this by creating content for a consumer or a blog or however way you want to market, promote, and get value out into the world. And one of the ways I did this was I actually posted videos of all the cocktail recipes that are offered in my box. I put them up for free on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you name it. I was putting as much value out into the world as possible, asking nothing in return. Now, what this is doing obviously is building that credibility and trust, but there's one important thing this is actually doing. It's attracting people that are naturally interested in the topics I'm talking about, right? So if I'm putting out cocktail recipes, I'm teaching people how to use shakers, I'm talking about different spirits that go in cocktails. Well, who's going to watch those? Who's going to like them? It's going to be people who drinks cocktails, right? So eventually they're going to be my target demographic when it comes time to actually sell a product to the marketplace. And this happens in all natural funnels. So if you're talking about video editing tips, right? Tips and tricks with Final Cut Pro, tips and tricks with Premiere Pro. Well, guess what? The people watching that, they're probably editing videos or they're trying to learn how to do it because they want to start a YouTube channel or do marketing for their products, right? You're putting out free will out there. And at the end of the day, you're attracting an audience that's going to be interested in the product you're going to be providing. Speaking of products, so after you've provided a bunch of free value to the world, it's time to bring a free service, right? So you've developed this audience that know, likes, and trusts you. Now, if you reach out to them and you offer them a service for free, well, they're probably pretty likely to hit you up on that. It could be a coaching call. You could offer to run their paid ad campaigns. You can offer to edit a couple videos for them. They already know you, so they're going to be pretty excited about that in general. And think of it more as like a demo or a trial, a little taste for them to see really how much better their life would be with your services in it. So hopefully you're going to make their life easier. You're going to provide value to their business and they're going to have a positive ROI. Or, I mean, honestly, if you could also just free up more of their time, that's a great service to have. Now, a couple positive side effects here is one, you're going to get some direct feedback. So you're going to know whether your service is really providing value or if it needs a little fine tuning before you charge for it. And secondly, it's really going to show your value to your audience and whoever it is using this free service. And that's going to take us into the next stage, and that's learning to monetize your service. Now, when you're looking to monetize your service, you're probably going to want to use something like a sales funnel. Again, if you're offering free services, that's kind of a natural sales funnel. So you get them in, you do a couple free things for them. Perhaps you capture their email and you can offer your paid paid services either right away through a sales call, or you can get them an automated email list where they get kind of follow-ups, tips and tricks here and there on the email, and let them know, hey, my services are finally open. We have a couple open spots. If you want to book a call with me, here's our rates. Click this link, right? They're going to be way more likely to purchase from you because one, they kind of know you. They've been watching you from the beginning. Two, they've already seen the value you can bring them and their business. So that's a pretty hard one to turn down. And lastly, they're just going to trust you, right? Because they don't have to do all the research. They don't have to go through all the reviews, all this other ancillary crap, right? Like they already know who you are. They trust you. And it's just way easier for them to work with you over anyone else. And while you're monetizing your services, it's really important for you to set up a pricing strategy. Now you can have tiers of services, right? Maybe you have a $100 tier where you jump on, you do a 1-hour call with someone, or you can have a monthly package that's $500, or you can do an ultimate one-on-one training for a year that's $5,000, $10,000 packages. So by having these tiers, it's going to be a lot easier for you to find like a really good sweet spot for someone jumping in looking for a particular service for a particular period of time. So definitely mess around with your pricing structures there. And this can vary between, if it's a product or a service. Maybe your physical product has extra things you could sell as bundles, or you can package it with a software or package it with coaching calls, right? When I was very first early on selling cocktail cards, I was raising money on Indiegogo. One of the services they could buy was not only do you get a set of cocktail cards, but you also get an hour-long bartending class one-on-one with me. So I teach you how to make drinks in person, and I would charge a lot more for that. And a lot of people bought it. We actually sold out of that package, which is pretty cool. So you can level up whether it's a product or a service as well. Now, before you know it, your business is going to be making money, right? This is kind of the cool thing. You'll hopefully make your first dollar, and it's going to level up to $100 and $1,000. And, maybe you get to the point where you're making a few $1,000s a month. Time to go to stage number 7, and that's outsourcing. Now, the real key goal with outsourcing is eliminating our repeating time-consuming tasks, okay? Now, this is going to help us scale our business and really free up our time. The beauty with money, right? You're selling your product, you're making money. The beauty is you can buy your time back. And not all time is created equal. For instance, you could hire a VA who could go through all your emails and fill out all your timesheets and sales sheets for you. Things that are just very tedious and time consuming, but you can literally hire someone for $5 to $10 an hour to handle all those tasks there. And that's a pretty low service because hopefully at this point, your time is worth way more than that. For instance, my business, Cocktail Cards, I do a lot of marketing by promoting and putting videos out into the world talking about my product. Well, I've gotten to the point where now I outsource and I have someone edit all of my videos, right? So that's a very time-consuming process that I'm now freeing up. So if you're trying to figure out which parts of your business you should outsource, really think about the 80-20 rule. Typically in most businesses and most of our lives, 20% of what we do actually lead to 80% of the results. And also inverse, 80% of the stuff we do really only leads to 20% of our results. So for instance, if I'm spending all day packing orders and editing videos, I'm not really doing any of the tasks that get more sales in my business. So it's important to outsource a lot of that work so it frees up my time to really focus on the 20% of tasks that are getting my business sales. So there's a couple ways you can outsource a lot of this work. You can either hire a full-time employee, or you can go to some websites like Fiverr, Upwork, Reddit, and you can actually hire a freelancer for either a short period of time or an extended period of time. So once you have all of these tasks outsourced in your business, it's time to move into level number 8, and that is scaling your business. This is a really important part of your business and probably the most fun, honestly. Now, you can get your products into new marketplaces. So instead of just selling on your website, you can get on Etsy and Walmart and Amazon. You can get into grocery stores, right? I'm in retail stores across the country, which is really cool. You can come out with new products, new services, or you can even look into investing into paid ads at this point, because hopefully your business is profitable enough to where you can invest a little bit of money into ads, which are only going to rapidly scale up your business. And it also provides a much better service for the people buying your products, right? So if I'm available on Amazon for Prime, they can buy my product and get it within like 1 or 2 days. That's pretty cool. In addition, you can have additional products that really make sense with that. And when you're scaling your business, hopefully you're providing a better overall experience for the customer. Faster shipping, better execution, right? More products to choose from. So by scaling your business, you're actually creating a better end product for the customer as well. So if you follow these 8 steps, you should have a pretty successful, thriving business. In fact, this is kind of where I am at. But there is one more bonus step I kind of want to talk about, which is a really awesome result of starting and launching your own business and following these steps to a T. And that bonus step is crafting a lifestyle that makes you happy. So at this point, we talked about outsourcing and scaling, putting work in, buying back our time. And at this point, you can really start focusing on what makes you happy and what you think success really is. So for instance, with my business, we have grown and scaled to a point where I make a lot more money than I did bartending. I'm not stressed out over money anymore, which is great, but it is by no means a multi-million-dollar business. Instead, what I've done is I bought back my time. I've invested into certain things where I can free up my time to spend more time with my family, with my daughter, and doing the things that I love to do. Because in my eyes, that is more success than just working all the time and growing and trying to turn this into a multi-billion-dollar business, right? That to me doesn't define success. What defines success for me is, working on something I love, doing the tasks in my business that I love to do, and having enough free time throughout the week to go do the things I love to do and be with the people I love to be with. That is the whole goal of all of this. So once you get to stage number 9, that's when you start crafting the lifestyle that makes you happy. Maybe that lifestyle is working 80 hours a week and just going to the moon with your business. That's totally up to you. It's all relative, but the beauty is at this point in the journey, you get to define what that looks like and you get to strive to get it there. So if you follow all these steps, you too can have a thriving, successful business in whatever it is you're passionate about. And if you want a full breakdown on how I launch cocktail cards, step by step, if you want to see behind the curtains how I did it, check out this video right here where I break it down, and I think that'll be pretty helpful for you. But thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you in the next video. Cheers for now.